What's going on, guys? I'm Bill and welcome to Bill's How To. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to measure and drill the holes out for your handles. We're going to be using this awesome little jig right here that I honestly wish I had bought earlier. I didn't realize how cheap they were and how effective. Let's get straight into it, guys. Let's do this. Alright guys, so we need to install some handles on these drawers here and the base cabinets. I've already installed the handles up on top on those upper cabinets of the kitchen. This is my first time using this jig and I really wanted to share it with you guys because it is unbelievable how well this thing here works. Nice and easy to use, and it is dirt cheap. I paid about $50 or $60 for this one here, and that was the more expensive one. They start at about $20. Honestly, I'm pretty sure they're exactly the same as what I've got here. They're just a different color and probably branded with a different brand. I picked these up off of Amazon. If I had known that these were this cheap, I would have bought one like 10 years ago. I don't do kitchens and cabinets that often, maybe once a month or so. So I usually create my own jig on site using scrap piece of timber or something, and I never had any issue until recently. I made a little mistake on a set of drawers. There were two sets of drawers and one of them was slightly shorter than the other one. So I didn't really pick up on it until I put the handles on, and then cost me $600 to get those drawers resprayed. So I'm going to show you guys just how easy it is to use. Probably about $20, $30 if you wanted to pick one up, and they're honestly the best investment you'll make, and you won't have to pay $600 to start all over again. So this jig is really easy to use. You've got adjustment screws on top of every single component here, and what that allows you to do is accommodate for different heights and different widths, because we've got a little guide here on the side and a guide on the bottom. That's going to help you square everything off on the cabinet door or the drawer that you're working on. It's both in millimeters and inches, so that means imperial and metric system. It's going to be nice and simple, especially if you're using the imperial system. Working off inches isn't an easy task. Just simply center the ruler on 0 here, and then we're going to work out our spacing to each hole from either side. The way you do this is you take your handle. Now I already know this one here is a 96 millimeter because it says so on the packet, but if you haven't got the measurement, rather than taking your tape measure and trying to measure from the center of the hole to the other center of the hole, you're going to have a bit of play in there and it's not going to be as accurate. You hold on to one side of the lug, as I've got there, and then you measure to the start of the next lug. So we've got there exactly 96 millimeters. That's the easiest way to measure the distance from your hole to hole. And then once you've got that, because we're working for the edge from here, this starts on 0, so we just need to divide that number by 2. 96 divided by 2 is 48. Then you can take this little position here, and that slides up and down depending on your position that you're working on. This one here, we need to line it back up to 48, which is a little bit hard to do sideways. Yeah, that's right there. So that's now set for our position, and if you're not too sure, you want to be double check it to be careful. Take your handle, place it on the back, look through, and you can eyeball it, or you can either just take those screws and screw it on, make sure everything's on nicely. These holes here accommodate for a 5mm drill bit, but I've been using a 4.5. I've seen some people center punch the location, then drill it out. I don't bother with that. I'm just going to be double handling everything. Drill it out. You can use a pilot bit if you like, or just have a nice sharp drill bit and don't put too much pressure. So it's time for a real life demonstration. We've got our jig ready to go. My holes are positioned nicely. The edge and the top guide here is set also to the height that I want. So you can see right there, that's going to be my final position. Best thing about this, after we drill this one here, we simply turn it over and you can transfer those measurements over to the side, the cabinet door that's next to it. So pretty simple. The edge sits up here, edge sits along here, everything's ready to go. We can now take our drill bit. I'm going to be using a 4.5mm drill bit, and I'm going to just go straight through. If you want, you can create a little pilot hole first, if you're worried about blowout on the back end. But as long as you've got a sharp drill bit and you don't put too much pressure, it shouldn't have blowout on the back. So this one here is now lined up, ready to go. We take the drill and just work that one there through. That one there's done. That one there is done. Now we can flip that one there over. It looks a little bit different on this side here, but the measurements are exactly the same. So once again, drill these ones here through. Once we've got those ones there ready, we can move our jig away. Wipe off any of that excess material for now. So now with the screw, we slot that one there through the hole, and we just want to check and make sure, figure out how much we need to cut this screw down here. So this one here needs to be cut all the way down. We just need exactly enough overhang. I'll cut a couple of them ready to go. And if you're not sure how to cut them, we're just using pliers. Use the base of the drawers here. And then you can just simply hold on and chop them. Alright, so now we've got 4 screws ready to go. And I'll show you guys the back in case you're concerned about blowout. This is what my one looks like here. No blowout, nice and simple. And also with these screws, they've got, whoops, almost lost my camera. With the screw, it's got a little dome on the back of it, so it's actually bigger than the screw itself. That means even if it does blow out a little bit, we're still going to be able to cover that. Drop that screw in, drop the other one in. We can take our handle. I might switch over my drill bits. Alright, then we can line up our handle and just simply follow through with the drill. You can use a screwdriver if you're concerned. Just take it easy and you won't have any problems. That's one ready to go. Other side, once again, screw in, handle, and just follow through with the drill. Always do a little bit on the top, a little bit on the bottom, that way they'll line themselves up and it'll suck in at the same time. If you do the top one, you might bite onto the top really hard and it might not have enough clearance for the bottom one to come through, and you risk damaging your door or bending your screws. Once that's done, we've got 2 handles nicely installed super fast. I'm going to go through and repeat the process on the other 3 doors that I've got here. Once that's done, I'm going to show you guys how to do the drawers as well. So if you want, you can watch me do these ones here in real time as well. I'll just show you guys how quick it is. If not, you can skip to when we get to the drawers. Once again, very, very simple. Flip it. It's already lined up and just drill it straight through. Honestly, the best thing I've bought. I'm going to put the link in the description in case you guys are interested. But if you do have a job coming up and you're a little bit worried about it, honestly, $30, $40. Best investment, best security ever. You can't get it wrong. If you're still watching me do this, you might as well let me know in the comment section below. Super interested to know what you guys want to see, what you want to learn how to do, how much detail. I try and give as much detail as possible in my videos to make sure that people can actually do it themselves. So that's all of these ones here done. I'll show you guys how to do the drawers now. Alright, so with our drawers, there's a couple different ways that we can do this. Because we've got a ruler here that's only about 40 centimeters wide, it's actually not wide enough to have a guide here on the edge. We've got option 1, which is to move our center point over to number 10 over here. Okay, and then we're just going to pretend this one here is 0, and work our millimeters out or our distance out from either side if you've got enough space on your handle. But just to keep things a bit simple for you guys, I'm going to leave it on the 0 position. What we're going to do is I'm going to open up this top drawer here, and we need to actually measure the width of the drawer. So in this case here, we've got 600. Our drop here is 175. So we're just going to divide that number by 2. We'll start off with the width first, so 600. We're going to mark our center point here on the edge of the drawer at 300, and you guys will see why in a second. And just put a little pencil mark. I'm going to do the same for all these drawers as well. So the width is exactly the same, so I'm going to make this one here all marked up from now. Alright, so at the moment I've just got a center mark, which is just a little pencil marking on the top. And the reason why I'm doing that is this little guide here also has a little indicator right there that we can run up against that pencil mark. So I'm going to know that it's exactly in the center once I run my flat edge up along it. So now that we've got that, all we need to work out is the height. So the height for these top 2 drawers here are the same, and the bottom one is different. Alright, so half of 175 is 87.5, so we're just going to adjust this one here to 87.5, which is right there. So now we've got our height adjusted, and we're going to use this little indicator here. It's on both the front and the back to make sure that everything's centered. Obviously this guide is in the way, so we can get rid of that one. That one there is now centered. And you want to just make sure that you're happy with it. Everything looks centered this way, centered this way. Now we can drill these ones here out. And because we know our top and bottom drawer or top and middle drawer are the same, we'll pull this one here out and we'll get this one here done as well. Once again, line it up on that pencil marking. Alright, so now we've got those ones there worked out. This one here, obviously our center is still the same, so the only thing we need to work out is just our height. So the height here is going to be a little bit different once again. We've got here 355, so we'll divide that by 2 and slide this one here up to 177.5. Lock it in place, drop it on top, line it up with your pencil mark, and once again, drill them straight through. And then once again, we can just attach our handles. And once it's all done, this here is the finished product. Everything is dead even, nice and simple. It took me about 10 minutes to do while recording, thanks to this little jig right here. So if you want to install some handles, check it out. Link will be in the description. This is going to save you a lot of heartache for only literally probably $20. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video and you've learned something new. As always guys, like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Bill. Thanks for watching Billshowto.